When we hear a sentence over and over, we begin to believe it, even if it's not true. Words are not just sounds or letters we use to describe things. Words can trigger memories, change emotions, create trust, or cause fear. Maybe you believe your existence is not worth it because you heard some theories about where humans come from and where they go. Or maybe a random person told you once you are not good enough. These words still stayed with you and had an influence on your belief and behavior, like spells. But words can also do the opposite. An encouraging sentence in the right moment can give you strength. Maybe you are about to give up and someone simply says, "I believe in you." And somehow, that sentence gives you enough courage to try one more time. Your name is also not just a word, it's self-image, memory, and your sense of belonging. In some cultures, names are seen so powerful that they are being kept secret. This also reminds me of the movie Spirited Away, where the witch takes Chihiro's name away. Chihiro's new name is Sen, and the more she forgets her real name, the more she loses contact with her old self. Only when she remembers her name, she does get her freedom back. Whoever controls names controls parts of identity. When people are reduced to numbers, roles, or titles, it changes the way they see themselves. A few years ago, I looked at my horoscope and read all the traits that described me. I was surprised by how accurate it felt, and the more I believed it, the more I started to act accordingly. But a few years later, I realized that I had accidentally entered wrong birth details. I was surprised by how much my belief in a few words had made me do things I never thought I was capable of. And it made me ask myself, what if I can become anything I believe I can be? I don't know, I find it so boring to be just one thing all the time, to be defined. What if the more words I know, the more ways I find to express myself, the more I can become? A few years ago, I also began to write some words on my left arm, just to look at it from time to time and to become that word even more. Good morning. Before I continue to paint, I made the habit to read for 20 minutes every day. I have too many books, also some that I haven't read yet, and before I buy new books, I have to read them, and I have read a few books and I don't want to keep them. So I sold these yesterday and I have to bring them to the post office. This is just something personal. I feel like I have too many books and having too many things makes me feel uncomfortable. Same goes for art supplies. And I also want to get some new books and make space and focus on certain other topics and read them before I get new things. I love books. Most of the time I listen to them as audiobooks, but I want to be more conscious when I do something else. I thought about getting an ebook as well, but I'll get the ebook from the money of the books that I have sold. I love to build a type of reward system for myself. I can get the thing once I have done something. I know many people do this with their children, but I also like to do that with myself. I just know getting the ebook immediately, I wouldn't appreciate it. So communication does not only happen through words. Sometimes a look of someone says more than a whole sentence. A tone of a voice can completely change the meaning of what is being said. Music can express something that language cannot do. Images can create feelings before we even know how to describe them. There's also this beautiful idea of telepathy. Whether it's true or not, it's a form of communication that feels faster than words. I also use all forms of communication to express what I feel. Maybe you can name them in the comments below. If words influence how we think, feel, and act, then we should use them more consciously. Not only the words we say to other people, but also the words we repeat to ourselves every day. Not every sentence becomes immediately our reality. A sentence we repeat often enough eventually becomes a belief, and a belief can change our behavior and ourselves over time. For many years, I carried the belief that I always had to keep going, that resting, enjoying my life had to be earned. It took me almost a year to slowly reshape that belief. Now I try to plan a few days ahead that after work, I will not just stay inside and continue working. On this evening, I rented a small boat with a friend for an hour. I am editing, and it's also raining. I just love the sound of rain. Here's more food for your brain, more words. A philosopher once said, "The limit of my language is the limit of my life." Words help us to organize our life, but they also limit it. If I don't have a word for a certain feeling, I might struggle to explain it. But language is not reality itself. The map I show you is not the territory. I can explain to someone what a forest looks like. I can say there are many trees and the air is different, but the complete impression only happens when you go into the forest.
It's so warm. I'm sweating. I've been painting since 7 a.m. and now it's 2 p.m. I think I'll take my stuff and edit at the beach.
I'll stay here for 1 hour. One thing I consciously do while editing is breathe in, because the air is so fresh.
I had the most comfortable pair of sandals for almost 4 years. I loved them and wore them almost the whole summer. It's a German brand. Taha! Birkenstocks. The other pair that I had were slightly darker, so these might not look as hot as my kitten heels, but I swear I can walk up to 5 or 6 hours in these.
Good morning, it's finally this beautiful summer season, and this is my closet for this month. Okay, this is my outfit for today. This is another styling tip I love to apply for summer. When it's small at the bottom, I do big at the top. And when it's small at the top, I do big at the bottom. I am dressed up, I feel so good. Now let's go and paint.
Unfortunately, I forgot to clean my small brush from last time, so let's go and get a new one.
I forget to clean my brushes so often that I get them from a really cheap store.
I'm back and I only got the brushes. When you go into these types of stores, it's so hard just to get the things that you focused on, but this time I did it. I wanted to create with oil pastels since a very long time, but I felt like this because I saw how messy it gets when you use them. And as you know me, especially as an artist, this is my habit, my personality. I like to be clean, I like to work clean. Even with oil pastels. Do you see what I have built? I don't like it to get messy. Almost everything I have, my clothes, my books, my art supplies, the digital stuff that I have, everything, I take care of it. And it's a habit I have built since a very young age because my parents taught me to be this way. Or I've seen it from my parents being like that. And I liked it. I liked what I saw. Of course, there are things that you see as a young child that you don't like and then you don't do it. But I saw something very early on that I liked and I kept doing it. So I'm no longer thinking about it. It's a habit. It feels natural to me. If you like to work clean, because for me, I feel calm, then you can also be this way. You see, I wear white stuff. And last time, in the last video, I read a comment, someone saying she would love to wear nice clothes while creating. And I answered, why not wearing nice clothes so you train yourself to be more careful, to be more conscious while creating? It's something that could go both ways. This is something else I love about this process I have found for myself. Oil pastels feel like I don't have that much control. It gives me this freedom without worrying too much because it's not in my control anyway. It's just a bit, but the oil pastel does what it wants. I'm never 100% sure what happens when I'm blending the oil pastel with these cotton sticks. Oil paint is a bit similar when you have your big brushes, but this feels a bit more extreme. And later on I go in with my oil paint for the details and I like that. There I have a bit more control over it. Yeah, I kind of think everything always goes back to the balance.
What you don't know is that sweater is not just blue, it's not turquoise, it's not lapis, it's actually cerulean. You're wearing a sweater that was selected for you by the people in this room.
It's almost 7 p.m. and I want to go to the movies. I asked a few friends of mine to come with me, but none of them wants to see that movie and I don't care. I'll go on my own. Actually, I have never been alone at the movies. I can do a lot of things on my own. I can go eat alone and why not going to the movies on my own. And I believe when you can do all these things, you're free. This is my outfit with a hip bag instead of a shoulder bag because I have pain in my shoulders. Usually I just go for a walk in the evening, but going to the cinema is so nice. The movie begins in 20 minutes and I'm walking to the cinema.
Sag doch, sie hasst die Schleife.
Ich bin drin?
Nein.
The movie was so nice. I cried a few times. And it's 10 p.m. and it's raining.
I'm so proud of myself because I have opened so many more fun possibilities, things that I can do in my free time. I also saw 2 other people alone at the movie, so it's something really normal. Today I'll work on my online shop and edit a lot of computer work. I also mentioned that I have a lot of shoulder pain and back pain, and it's because I stopped using a mouse. I use the mouse pad of my laptop. That's not good for my hand. I'm also way more active now. I'm doing sports and stretching helps as well. Now I'm going to sign these prints. They are from the last drop. This is everything. I put it on this desk. I have way many more prints over there. It's a lot, but I'm super thankful. Let's begin.
So my usual fine art prints don't include typography. And I think I have never seen a fine art print including typography underneath it. I usually let the image speak for itself, but this time I wanted to include the names of the figures. People often ask me who I am painting, and even though figurative art is my main focus, the identity of the figures was never the main focus for me. I was more interested in the feeling, the atmosphere, and the inner world of a piece. But over time, I became drawn to the idea of giving my figures names, at least for this time. And a name gives a figure presence. It makes them feel less anonymous, almost as if they carry memory, a story, or a soul. And the names of the figures are not random either. Esmeralda comes from emerald, a green gemstone. Sapphira comes from sapphire, a blue stone. And because the figure herself is surrounded by blue, the name felt like it already belonged to her. I like the idea that names can carry a certain energy, that the way a being is named can shape how we imagine its character, its presence, and even the way it moves through life. So the names underneath the prints are not just labels, they become part of the artwork itself, connecting identity and meaning. It may be unusual, but stylistically it felt right, and after exploring the power of words, it made sense to me to let the names become visible too. These prints are available on valerielin.com or click the link in the description box. The prints are delivered worldwide and only available until July 13th, and then they are gone. And lastly, one question. Is there a word or sentence you once heard that changed the way you saw things?